Here's our audience.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Krause, and I'm going to give you a real quick overview of my marketing analysis for the Massachusetts region of Contosa. We're going to go ahead and get started here. So you can see our overview. We're going to look at an analysis of the region, the purpose for this analysis, a few issues, solutions, new KPIs, and then finally the dashboard. So first, for the regional analysis, we're going to look at years 2008 to 2009. Our region was ranked 6 out of 10 in the U.S. regions. With the amount of stores and the store sizes and the amount of employees, we should be ranked much higher than that. We made a total of $143 million in net sales, and we have 23.1 average number of employees per store. The purpose of this analysis is to find opportunities and issues that can be solved, and then solve those issues, and then track the effect of that solving of the issues. The first issue here is the Northampton is our largest store in the entire region. But if you look here at the margin per square foot by store name, you're going to see that Northampton is by far the lowest margin per square foot, meaning that for the amount of space they have in their store, they're not making enough money. My team went ahead and looked into this to find out why there was that issue. And the gross margins, it is making about the same as the other stores. There's no drop in gross margin, so that's not where the issue lies. There's no issue in the cost for the store, no extreme costs. So what we looked at was that it has actually the lowest sales per employee in the entire region. So that's our first issue. Our second issue that we came across were our two Worcester stores. You can see here, we're looking at the margin per square foot, which is the purple columns here, and then the gross margin is our line here by store name. So our two Worcester stores are over here, and you can see that our gross margin drops dramatically for both of those Worcester stores. They both have the lowest gross margins, but their costs are much the same as any other store in the region, even though there's two in this same town here. It also has very, very low margin per square foot for the size of the stores in that area as well. So now we're going to look at some solutions. The first solution let's solve is the Northampton store. So what my team is going to recommend is for the company to implement a training program which will empower employees and management to achieve higher success and higher numbers in their region. The impacts of this will increase our sales per employee, and then the outcome is sales will increase by a total of 25% in the next year. That's what we're seeing here. And then our next solution is to solve our Worcester issue, and that is actually going to require the closure of Worcester store number 2. This is going to decrease our cost dramatically. It also will increase our gross margin because of that decrease of cost. And our outcome is going to show us that a gross margin will increase by 10% over the next year. However, to track the success of these two implementations, we're going to have a couple new KPIs just so that we can measure metric-wise where we're seeing changes. The first KPI that we'll want to add will help us evaluate the amount of training affects, how much training affects sales per employee. So what our target goal is $2.5 million increase in net sales over the next 2 years. The time period is the year of 2010, and the comparisons made will be against Northampton's 2009 sales, as that will be our first implementation store for the training program. The calculations are going to require a sum of training hours per store divided by the number of employees per store. So we already have the number of employees per store. We will have to track and keep data regarding the sum of training hours that the stores are implementing. Our second KPI is going to build off of that. If they have a successful implementation of the training program in Northampton, we'd like to see this go company-wide. So it's going to evaluate training program effects company-wide. The target goal is to show at least a 15% increase in the company's sales per employee numbers by region. The time period will be by 2012, 1 year after program begins the trial period company-wide. Comparisons made in this KPI will be the company sales per employees from 2011. So we would just basically want to be able to see a difference in all the regions by this training program. And then the calculation will include sum of training hours per store divided by numbers of stores per region. And next, let's go ahead and take a look at the dashboard here so we can kind of see where we're going to track our numbers here. Give me 1 second, pull that up. So here you can see the Contosa data evaluation. We have a couple things going on here. We're going to look at our margin per square foot and gross margin by store name. We have our important KPIs at this time, which are gross margin, gross cost, and sales per employee. This is going to help us track the amount of gross margin that we increase and the gross cost that we decrease with both of our solutions, and then also the increase in sales per employee. We can look down here at margin per square foot ratio by store, and also margin per employee by store. And then here's some more facts per store that we can look at. Over here, we'll see that we can look at per region. We can look at by store, so we can go ahead and click on Northampton and look at specifically Northampton's numbers here. And then we can also look at specifically 2009 so that we can really track those numbers and how they're changing over the years. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope this gave you some more valuable information and look forward to hearing back soon. Thank you.